إله العالمين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا ومولانا مولى ثقلين جد الحسن والحسين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرضين بأبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين ولعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم كتابه وهو أصدق القائلين وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذي يجتنبون كبائر الإثم والفواحش إلا اللمم إن ربك واسع المغفرة. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات الله اجورنا واجوركم بمناسبة بالحسين عليه السلام. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase my and your tawfiqat for commemorating the Shahadat anniversary majalis for the Abab al-Hussein al-Salam and his family members, his companions, his friends. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and you his best rewards for this commemoration. Today, or I will say tonight, is the second night of Muharrum al-Harram. And if you go according to the dates, today was the first day of Muharram year 1440. Every year, we remember Imam Hussain al-Salam and his sacrifice. Every year, we talk about the sacrifice offered by Imam Hussain al-Salam to save Islam and to save the religion of his grandfather. This is in the whole world, different parts of the world, different countries, in different languages. The reason is Imam Hussain al-Salam does not belong to one person or one country. He belongs to the whole humanity. That's why the whole humanity in the whole world, they are mourning the Shahadat of Imam Hussain al-Salam and his friends and his companions and his family members. This year, the topic of our majalis is major sins. Sometimes they are also called greater sins. In Arabic, we call them kaba'ir, kaba'ir al-ithm, and in Farsi and Urdu we say gunahani kebira. But because we have the majalis of Imam Hussain al-Salam, so with this topic we will also discuss the fada'il, the merits of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and the masa'ib which came upon these holy personalities. We will discuss fada'il and masa'ib of the household of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Last night, as an introduction to Istiqbal Muharram, we talk about what is the importance of controlling one's desires, carnal desires, what is the importance of refraining from committing sins, how to avoid sins. Inshallah, in the coming nights we will discuss this again in detail. Also we will discuss what are the major sins and how to keep ourselves away from committing these sins. Moreover, what are the cure and remedies with us in order to refrain and keep ourselves away from sins, whether they are major or minor. Today, continuation of the same topic. Today is also introduction to our topic, and inshallah from tomorrow we will discuss in detail taking different types of sins. But the first thing here is, which is very important to know, is how a sin is defined. What is the definition of a sin? It is famous that the definition of the sin is kullu amalin min al-amal allati tukhalifu al-awamir al-ilahiyya. Every act from the different acts which are against the order of Allah is called sin. In other words, in simple words, we say to disobey Allah, to disobey the order of Allah, this is called sin. In Arabic it is also called dhanb. And famous it is called gunah. When we have an order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Aqeemu salah, that is to establish prayers. If we disobey and we don't pray, this will be called ism or dhanb or a sin. It is famous that the sins are of two types, kabira and saghira. Although some of the ulama say there is no kabira and saghira, the sin is a sin and it should be avoided. Every sin is kabira. Why? Because you have to see them whom you are disobeying. So sin is disobeying Allah and the Zat Muqaddas. The being of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so high. Whoever disobeys Him, that is something which is major and which is great. But in order to understand that this is one definition from those people who are giving the definition from the philosophical point of view. Otherwise, for our understanding, to understand and to refrain from the sin, it's easy to divide sin into two kinds. One is kabira, the major sin, the other is saghira, the minor sin. And this term of kabira and saghira is a Quranic term. Quran has also mentioned that there are certain sins which are major and there are certain sins which are minor. But it doesn't mean that those which are minor, that is okay, that's allowed to move for it or to perform it. No, in both the cases, the hukum is same. That is ijtinab, refraining from it. One has to refrain from sin in whatever conditions. In all the conditions, one has to refrain from the sin. Now, the verse which I just recited from the Holy Quran, Surah An-Najm, this is chapter number 53, and I recited two verses. Verse number 31 and 32, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا بِالْحُسْنَى. Allah will reward those who do good with good. Allah will reward those people who do good deeds. With what? With good. Bil-husna. Whatever a person commits, he performs, Allah will reward him. because he has performed a good deed, so Allah will also reward him with good, بالحسنى. الذين يجتنبون كبائر الإثم والفواحش. Those who avoid major sins and shameful acts. So there are two things here in this verse. The first thing in this verse is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those الذين يجتنبون الكبائر كبائر الإثم. Those who refrain, those who avoid, those who protect themselves from kabair. Kabair is the plural of kabira. From those sins which are major, those sins which are great. What fawahish? Fawahish is indecent things, those things which are indecent. Or I will say those things which are shameful. Where a person feels shameful. This is called fawahish. Plural of fahish or fahisha or fuhsh. الذين يجتنبون كبائر الإثم والفواحش إلا اللمم. This lamam is another word which is in the Quran, and I mentioned last night that there are certain terms in the Holy Quran which we need to know the meaning. We need to know what is the meaning of these terms. Like I was talking about Surah An-Nazi'at. What is An-Nazi'at? This we discussed last night. I don't want to repeat. Now this word is another word which is in the Holy Quran. And you should ask yourself whether you heard this word before or not. If you are a regular Quran reciter, then you know about this word. And not only you have heard it, you should know the meaning and how to pronounce it. So this word is from the three letters. Lam, Mim, Mim. Lamam. Barwazne, Qalam. Qalam, Qaf, Lam, Mim. How we pronounce Qalam, everyone knows. We say, give me Qalam. And there is one surah in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Qalam. Surah Al-Qalam means the chapter of pen. Qalam means pen. The same version on Qalam is Lamam. Lam, Mim, Mim. So this is how to pronounce it. This is one thing. As I mentioned in these majalis, we learn about the Quran and we learn about the ahkam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the Holy Quran, which is pronounced as Lamam, Lam, Mim, Mim, which means minor sins. Who would think that this word means Gunahe Sagira or minor sin? Lamam is the Arabic word for Gunahe Sagira or for minor sin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ يَجْتَنِبُونَ كَبَائِرَ الْإِثْمِ وَالْفَوَاحِشِ إِلَّا الْلَمَمِ. Except those who performs a minor sin. So the translation will be, Allah will reward those who do good with good. Those, who are these people? Who do good and Allah will reward them with good. Those are the people, Alladina. Those are the people who avoid major sins. These people who avoid major sin, Allah will reward them. With what? With good. With husna. Allah will reward them. Those people who avoid major sins, number one. Number two, who avoid shameful acts. Wal fawahish, indecent acts. Those people who refrain from shameful acts, those people who refrain from Gunahe Kabira, the major sins, except minor sins. But the minor sins, those who perform minor sins, this is exception. Now what is minor sin and what is a major sin? This is something which we need to understand. If we understand this now, inshallah, in the coming lectures and majalis, it will be easier for us to know what is a major sin and what is a minor sin. So, major sin is that sin in which, when it is mentioned in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises azab, punishment after that. If you open the Holy Quran, you will find there are many places where the major sins are mentioned. Immediately when Allah mentioned the major sin, He says, my azab will be coming on these people. So this is one definition or one distinction between major and minor. Major sins are always, when it is mentioned in Hadith or the Holy Quran, after that Allah's severe punishment, azabun alim, is mentioned. So whenever you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning His severe punishment, you should know that this is a major sin. Now examples are coming. What about minor sin? Minor sin or gunahi saghira are those which we call lapses, shortcomings. Or in other words, ulama has given this definition too. When a person thinks and makes his intention decision to commit a major sin, but he doesn't do it, this is called minor sin. Once again, inshallah, all of you are attentive. Minor sins are those sins which are not committed, but a person wants to commit a sin. A person wants to commit a major sin, or he wants to go for a sin, but then he changes his mind. He says, no, I will not do this. Let's suppose a person wants to do riba, backbiting, but then he realizes, he says, no, I should not do it. Now, because you have made the intention, and you were there, you were ready to perform riba, backbiting, but you didn't do it, still it will be counted as a sin, but minor, not major. But if you do it, then it is a major sin. So this is one definition which we have for the saghira. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now, let me give you one more explanation about the definition of the minor sin, because this is a question which was in my mind, and I was looking for it, that what is the difference between major and minor? What are the major sins? Most of us know about major sins, but the people, they are not aware about minor sins. So first we will try to understand the definition, and then we will bring the examples. In other words, gunahi saghira or the minor sin is a sin which is not committed as a habit. Some people have a habit to do things, so they develop a habit. Minor sin is a sin which is not with habit, and sometimes it is committed once in a while, not all the time. Once in a while. And this is because of the negligence. Negligence is ghafla. The word used in Arabic is called ghafla or ghaflat. In Farsi and Urdu you say ghaflat. Insan is ghafil. He's not attentive all the time. So whenever negligence comes, ghaflat comes, that sin is called saghira, which is because of the ghafla. And again, the minor sin is the one which comes from ghafla, but it is not repeated. Once you repeat a sin, then it becomes a major sin. Even the minor sin, when it is repeated, also becomes a major sin. So minor sins are not repeated. In other words, we can say that when a person once in a while goes for a sin, commits a sin, that is minor sin or saghira. But to repeat a sin, that makes it kebira. Loud salawat, please. One question is that how many are like the number? How many major sins we have, or how many minor sins we have? The numbers. Now, there is difference of opinion about the number of the major sins among the ulamas, but those which are famous is 7. 7 sins are called major sins. And some has counted 10, and some has counted 15. Even some has counted 45. Like Ayatollah Shaheed Dastagir Shirazi, he has counted around 55 or 50. Some has counted 45, some has counted 50, 55. And even some says that the major sins are 75 or more. So we don't know exactly what is the number of the major sins. But the 7 and 10 are famous, for sure. There is no doubt. Why? Because we have dalil, proof, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned Allah after that. But Allah knows that how much is the sins which are called major sins. Opposite of sin is called taqwa. So one side is sin, gunah, dhanb. Other side is taqwa, which is totally opposite to it. Now taqwa is from waqaya, that is to safeguard. See, when the winter comes, we go for the winter jacket. Why? In order to safeguard ourselves from the winter. This is called taqwa. Similarly, to safeguard yourself from committing sin is called taqwa. When a person commits a sin, he is a sinner. But one who safeguards himself, protects himself from committing sin, he is muttaqi, and this phenomena is called taqwa. It is also called wara'. Al-wara'. Alif lam waw ra ain. Al-wara' is the same meaning of the taqwa. From sin, then they have to bring taqwa and wara among themselves in their life. Like if you remember the famous khutbah Sha'baniyah of the Holy Prophet towards the end of the month of Sha'ban, and to welcome the month of Ramadan, the Holy Prophet gave a khutbah which is called khutbah Sha'baniyah. And in this khutbah, the Holy Prophet was explaining to the people how important is the month of Ramadan, and how to prepare yourself for welcoming the holy month Shahrullah, the month of Allah, the month of Ramadan. And when the khutbah, in between the khutbah, the commander of faithful, he asked, Ya Rasulullah, O Holy Prophet, Ma afzalul a'mal fi hadha ash-shahr. What is the best action to do, the best amal to do in the month of Ramadan? The answer was, Ya Ali, al-wara' al-maharimillah. The best amal in the month of Ramadan is taqwa, is to protect yourself from those things which are made haram. And then the khutbah says that the Holy Prophet started crying. The Imam Amirul Mu'mineen asked, Fama yabkika ya Rasulullah, what has made you cry, O Holy Prophet? He says, this will be the month about whom you are asking that what is the best amal in the month of Ramadan. In the same, this best, the month of Allah, you will be killed. So I'm crying for that. And now see the taqwa of Amirul Mu'mineen. He is not asking who will kill me and who will be my killer, how it will happen. But he says, O "O Prophet, tell me, وَهَذَا أَنْ سَلَامَةَ الدِّينِ, my religion will be safe, I will be on the religion of Islam at that time when I will be killed?" The Holy Prophet said, "Yes, na'am. You will be on the top level of Islam, top level of your deen." So this is, always remember, one side is sin, another side is taqwa. Taqwa is wara. That is to protect yourself from approaching towards sin. And Amir al-Mu'mineen is called Imam al-Muttaqeen. That is leader of those who practice taqwa. Imam al-Muttaqeen, that is the leader of those who are practicing taqwa and wara. How? You see someone ask Imam Ali alayhi salam, "Ya Ali, you like to go to masjid or you like to go to paradise? You want to sit in the mosque or you want to sit in Jannah?" Imam Ali, if someone asks me, I will say, "Oh, I will go to paradise, everything is for whatever I'm doing is for paradise." But answer of Imam Ali is different. He says, "I like to sit, I like to go to the mosque." The person asks, "Why mosque? Why not Jannah?" Imam Ali says, "Because to sit in the mosque is the pleasure of Allah, and to go to the paradise is my personal pleasure." Ali is the person who looks towards the pleasure of Allah, not his own personal pleasure. Same is the case you have heard from the ulama in the fadail of Amir al-Mu'mineen al-Salam, that once when he was fighting with his enemy and he overcome on his enemy and he sit on his chest in order to kill him, that man threw the water of his mouth on the sacred face of Imam Ali. Imam Ali left him and he went aside. The people said, "Ya Ali, you were killing him. Now when he did this, why you left him?" Imam Ali said, "Yes, I was killing him for the pleasure of Allah. But now when he insulted me, my anger also come inside." And Ali never kills a person for his own personal anger. He kills the person for the pleasure of Allah. This is called taqwa and wara. Sallu ala Muhammad wa alihi. Once again, now with salawat, please. Taqwa is very important that a person should practice it in his life. We have the example of Bilal. Bilal was a slave from Ethiopia, and the master of Bilal used to torture him because he became muwahhid. He became muttaqi. He was talking about the oneness of Allah. But his master wants him that he should pray in front of the idols and statues. Bilal said no. And then he was tortured. But Bilal was saying, Ahad, Ahad, Ahad. That is, Allah is one, and I will not pray anyone beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But a time came that this Bilal, when he became Muslim and his master died, and the Holy Prophet went to Medina and the first mosque was established in Medina, this Ethiopian slave was made Muazzin Rasul, one who was inviting the people towards Salah, towards Hayya ala Khair al-Amal. And the time was there that this Bilal, when he was called by his master, he would run towards the master. Now he is calling the people towards the mosque, and the people are running towards him and towards the mosque because of the taqwa, because of the piety which Bilal had. Sallu ala Muhammad wa alihi. If we see the life of our ulama and scholars, we have the personalities who practiced taqwa. There were some scholars, some people who prayed for 40 years in the first row, Salatul Jama'ah. The people praying Salatul Jama'ah. Salatul Jama'ah, congregational prayer. In the first row, sometimes Salatul Fajr for 40 years without any qaza. I'm not talking about qaza of Salat, qaza of Salatul Jama'ah. And Muqaddas Ardabili was one such scholar who used to lead prayers in the Harram of Imam Ali in Najaf. He was Imam in the Harram of Amirul Mu'mineen, Harram Alawi, where he used to lead Salah and the people will pray after him. Once he was going towards the Harram of Imam Ali السلام, to lead Salah there, and he got late. So he rushed towards the fountain. You know, even today you will see that in the courtyard of the Harram of Masumin al-Muslim, there is place for wuzu, there is some fountain where the water is there. So he rushed towards the fountain in order to do wuzu. He took water in his hands in order to perform wudu. All of a sudden he saw that the water which he took from the fountain was changed into silver and gold. And at that time he looked towards the sky and he said, "Oh Allah, I want water, I don't want gold and silver. People are waiting for me. I want to do wuzu so that I should lead the prayer. I want water, not gold and silver." And he threw gold and silver in the water and it changed into water again. Second time when he took water in his hands, that was water with which he performed wudu, and then he led Salatul Jama'ah in the Harram of the Holy Imam alayhi salam. And if our ulamas are on this stage, so what will be our Aimma Mahsumeen alayhi salam? When these ulamas have such a high position, so the position of Aimma alayhi salam, which is mansoos with Allah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their position is a very high position. Last thing, as the time has approaching, and I have to finish this and I will continue this inshallah next time in the coming days, is a discussion and a question which is among the ulama. I would like to give a brief answer to this, and then I go to the last part, which is the Masail part. That is, the question is, now this is a very beautiful and important question, which might be in the minds of many, especially the youth. And that is, which one is better? To perform a good deed or to refrain from a sin? I ask this question from myself, and you should also ask, which one is good, which one is better? To do something good, to perform something which is mustahab, something which is very high standard. This is better or no? Ijtinab anil kabair, ijtinab anil dham. Refrain from committing a sin. Answer. To refrain from sin is better than doing something which is good. This shows how important is refraining and abstaining from committing a sin. I'll give you one example. If I ask you, or I ask myself, or anyone else, going for Umrah is something which is recommended, highly recommended to perform Umrah. This is better for a lady to go for, a lady, our sisters, it's better for her to go and perform Umrah, or no, to do hijab. Which one is better? To perform Umrah or to do hijab? Answer is, it is better to do hijab, which is wajib, and this is also abstaining from committing a sin, than to go and perform Umrah. Similarly, if I ask you, which one is better? To perform Salatul Layl, the Tahajjud prayer, for a brother, for a mu'min, or no, to have a beard? Which one is better? A person, he stands in the middle of the night and he performs 11 rak'ah, salatul layl, salatul tahajjud. This is, he should do this? Or no, he should not shave his beard? Answer is, it's better not to shave the beard, to have beard, than to perform salatul layl. Again, if someone asks which one is better, to give sadaqah, charity, to poor and needy person, or no, to refrain from looking towards a mahram. Someone who is mahram for you, who is not your mahram. You're looking with lust. Is haram for you to refrain from that look, which is haram, or no, to give sadaqah. Yes, to refrain from looking with lust to a mahram is better than giving sadaqah. Similarly, which one is better? To remove an obstacle which is in the path, in the way of the person, or no, to refrain from eating haram. Now, haram is, when we say eating haram, there are two kinds. One, the thing is haram. Second thing is, no, it is earned through haram way. In both the cases, it is haram. Something that the person eats is haram, because this is not muzakka. It's not slaughtered according to Islamic way. That is haram. Another thing is that you are eating a food, but that food is earned by a money which was not earned in a halal way. So when the person, he eats haram, in both the situation, it's better to refrain from eating haram than to give sadaqah or to remove an obstacle from the path and the way. This is mustahab. It is highly recommended good. If there is some hindrance, some obstacle in the path, remove that. But that is a thing which is good. But to eat haram, luqma haram, the morsel which we eat is haram, that is more important than one should abstain and refrain from eating something which is haram. Sallu ala Muhammad wa alihi. Respected brothers and sisters, the days and nights belong to our Al-Hussein السلام and his companions, his family members. When Muawiyah, the father of Yazid, died in Sham, in Syria, and his son, which was Yazid, and he was not capable, he doesn't have those conditions for a ruler. Not only capable, he was a drunkard, and he was something who used to do sin in public. That's why in one of the khutbahs, Imam Sayyid al-Salam mentioned about Yazid. He said, وَيَزِيد شَارِبُ الْخَمَرِ وَقَاتِلُ نَفْسِ الْمُحْتَرَمَةِ. You, Yazid, a person who is drinking wine, which is haram in Islam, who is reciting poetry which is kufr, like the poems which he was reciting, he was saying there is no wahi and there was no prophethood. These are some of the poetical verses which are attributed to him, and he used to recite those poetry, those shi'r in the courtyard. لَعِبَتْ بَنِي هَاشِمْ بِالْمُلْكِ فَلَا خَبَرٌ جَاءَ وَلَا وَحْيَ نَزَلَ. This is something which is kufr. He said there was no wahi and there was no revelation, no Jibreel. Bani Hashim made this a drama in order to have hukuma, in order to rule. Now this Yazid, who is Sharib al-Khamr, Mu'linun bil-Fisq, Qatilu nafs al-Muhtarama, he kills innocent people and he performs fisq, which is also a kind of sin. Fisq is also sin, in front of the people. in public. Mithli la yubayihu mithlu. Not only me, the one who is my follower will also not perform allegiance and bai'at to Yazid and the one who is like Yazid. Now for this Imam Hussain has to pay price. When he says, I'm not going to pay allegiance to Yazid, now he has to leave Medina. Imam Hussain he doesn't want to leave Medina. Why? Because Medina was the place where Imam Hussain was born, was the place where the Holy Prophet was buried. Medina was the place where his elder brother Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba was buried. The place where Fatima Zahra Alaiha was buried. He doesn't want to leave that. But he has to, because Yazid will not leave him with the condition that Imam Hussain refuses to pay allegiance. So when Imam Hussain refuses the bay'ah, and now he knows that he has to leave Medina, so he made a caravan. Before making caravan, Imam Hussain went to the Harram of Rasulullah, the Harram of his grandfather. There Imam Hussain visited the Harram and he spoke with his grandfather, to the grave of the Holy Prophet. He said, Jaddi ya Rasulullah, assalamu alaikum. Allah's peace be upon you, O my grandfather, Rasulullah. The people are not allowing me to stay in this Medina, so I am leaving Medina. Arbab Maqatil says that was the time when Imam Hussain went into a small sleep. And he saw in the dream the Holy Prophet is calling him, Walidi ya Hussain, my son Hussain, come to me. You are going to join me very soon. Imam Hussain he woke up from the dream and he said, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Then Imam Hussain visited the grave of Fatima Zahra and he said farewell to the grave of his mother, the daughter of the Holy Prophet. Imam Hussain visited the grave of his elder brother Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba and said farewell to Imam Hassan alayhi. Now Imam Hussain is ready to leave Medina. A caravan was made. Muhammad ibn Hanafiya comes forward and he said, Yabna Rasulullah, O son of the Holy Prophet, why are you leaving Medina? He said, I am leaving Medina because in Allah sha'a ayyarani katila. Maybe this is the wish of Allah that He wants to see me killed in His way. Muhammad ibn Hanafiya says, Ya Aba Abdullah, if you are going, then why you are taking ladies and children with you? Imam Hussain replied, Inna Allah sha'a an yarahunna sabaya. Maybe this is the wish of Allah to see the daughters of the Holy Prophet captives and as prisoners. Ejourkum Allah. Now the caravan is made. The caravan is leaving. Everyone is there from the Holy Prophet's family, from the family of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. They are going in caravan, but there is one baby girl. There was a girl of 7 years age. Her name is Sughra. She is not going in the caravan. Now she comes to the father, Imam Hussain and says, Oh my father, why you are leaving me? Take me with you. The answer was, Anti Alila, O Sughra, you are not feeling well. Stay with Salama. And stay with the mother of Hazrat Abbas, Baneen, alayhi salam. He says, Father, take me with you. I want to be with my brother Abbas, with my brother Akbar, with my uncle Abbas. I want to be with Qasim. But the answer was, no, Sughra, you cannot go with us. Then the daughter of Imam Hussain says, Father, if you are not taking me, then give my brother Ali Asghar in my land. so that I should say for the last time farewell to my brother Ali al-Asghar. Arbab Maqatil writes that Hazrat Ali Asghar was given to Hazrat Sughra Salamullah alayha. She took the baby Ali Asghar in her lap, and now she is talking with her brother Ali al-Asghar. When the time comes that the caravan was leaving, at that time Asghar is not leaving Sughra, and Sughra also doesn't want to give Ali Asghar to Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain comes near Sughra and says, my daughter, give Ali Asghar to me. We are leaving. Ali Asghar has also to perform a job there in Karbala. Fatima Sughra says, Father, if Ali Asghar wants to go by himself, I have no problem. He can go. And that was the time Imam Hussain is trying to take Ali Asghar in his lap, but Ali Asghar is not leaving the lap of Fatima Sughra. I don't know what happened, but some of the ulama recite that Imam Hussain, he said something in the ear of Ali al-Asghar. I don't know what Imam Hussain said. मुझे नहीं मालूम इमाम हुसैन ने हजरत अली असगर के कान में क्या कहा, लेकिन बाज़ अरबाब मकातिब लिखते हैं इमाम हुसैन अलैहिस्सलाम ने हजरत अली असगर के कान में कहा होगा, बेटा अली असगर अगर आप नहीं जाओगे तो करबला कैसे होता होगा। اجوركم Allah. I don't know what Imam Hussain alayhi said in the ear of Hazrat Ali Asghar, but I have heard from ulama, they said that Imam Hussain told Ali al-Asghar, my son Ali al-Asghar, you have to play a role in Karbala. If you will not go with us, how you are going to conquer Karbala? When Ali al-Asghar heard this, he left the lap of Fatima Sughra and came in the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam. Now Imam Hussain alayhi salam is leaving Medina. He ordered that all the ladies should come and sit on the horses and sit on the camels. And now when Hazrat Zainab salamullah alayha came out from the house, Allahu Akbar, Hazrat Zainab came out from the house in order to mount on the camel. When Hazrat Alaiq saw Hazrat Zainab is coming from the house, he went forward and he made himself sit near the horse so that Hazrat Zainab salamullah alayha should mount on the horse. अज़ीज़ान गिरामी, जब हज़रत ज़ैनब घर से निकली, आप सवार होना चाहती हैं, जैसे हज़रत अली अकबर ने देखा कि बीबी ज़ैनब सवार होना चाहती हैं, हज़रत अली अकबर आगे बढ़े, हज़रत अब्बास आगे बढ़े, अपनी फूफी को सहारा दिया, हज़रत अब्बास ने अपनी बहन को सहारा दिया, इज्जत और एहतराम के साथ हज़रत ज़ैनब को कजावे में सवार किया। मगर एक ऐसा वक्त भी आया असर आशूर को, यही ज़ैनब करबला से कूफा जाना चाहती हैं, मगर कोई सवार करने वाला नहीं। फनज़रा इलल यमीन व शमाल, हज़रत ज़ैनब ने मग़रिब की तरफ देखा, हज़रत ज़ैनब ने मशरिक़ की तरफ देखा, कोई सवार करने वाला नहीं। न हज़रत अली अकबर मौजूद है, न हज़रत अब्बास मौजूद है। बस एक मर्तबा फुरात का रुख करके हज़रत अब्बास को सलाम किया, मेरा सलाम कबूल करो भाई अब्बास, आपकी बहन करबला से जा रही है कूफा। एक वो वक्त था जब सवार करने के लिए नौजवानाने बनी हाशिम आगे बढ़े। अब वो वक्त आया कि हज़रत ज़ैनब को कोई सवार करने वाला नहीं। وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. إلهي بك فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها ويسر المستقبل فيها. Well, we ask you to accept this adhan and this majlis from all of us. Oh Allah, whoever has hajat, everyone has hajat. Brothers have hajat, sisters have hajat. Oh Allah, for the sake of Abdullah Hussain, for the sake of Shuhada Karbala, fulfill our Shari Hajat. Those who are ill, give them recovery. Oh Allah, we ask you to shower your mercy on our marhumeen, especially for the marhumeen of Zahid Kazmi, who has sponsored tonight majlis. Oh Allah, we ask you to make the Imam of our time, Imam Zaman alayhi salam, happy from us. Oh Allah, send the Imam of our time as soon as possible. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات ومن مات على الإيمان ومن مات على الإيمان بالخصوص for the marhumeen of Brother Sayyid Zahid Kazmi, marhum Sayyid Maqbool Kazmi, marhum Sayyid Wajib Ali Nakwi, marhuma Sayyida Zahra Batul Nakwi, for them and for the marhumeen of Hazirin wa Jalisin, rahimallahu man qara'a Surah Al-Mubarakah Al-Fatiha ma'a salawat. Matam Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain.
शहर से जाते हैं दे हमको दुआ